Hey guys, what's going on? The History Hex here, back to you with another video. Sorry that I haven't been uploading lately, guys. I've been kind of busy. But so, I'm gonna talk about the Battle of Iwo Jima and the famous flag raising. The reason I'm doing this is actually because one of my friends has no clue what the Battle of Iwo Jima was or the famous flag raising. So this is dedicated towards him. And if you're my friend and you're watching this, yeah, you should feel ashamed of yourself. Alright, so here we go. Oh, come on. There we go. The Battle of Iwo Jima was a campaign against the Japanese in 1945. The island is located 750 miles off the coast of the mainland Japan. The island housed 3 airfields which could be used to attack Japan. American Marine forces invaded the island on February 19, 1945. The battle lasted for 5 weeks and was one of the most bloodiest conflicts in the Pacific theater. There were over 21,000 Japanese stationed, and it was believed that all were killed, but 200 and almost 7,000 Marines killed. The Japanese were already so crippled after the events of World War II that they were unable to defend the island holdings. The Japanese Air Force was also crippled, and they were not able to set up an inner line of defense. This line of defense included Iwo Jima. I actually read a book about this, and it's called The Flags of Our Fathers. And so, when the Marines invaded and they took the beach, there were, tons of, tunnels and, caves and stuff that were all interconnected around the island. And, one of the medical bases on the beachhead, the doctor said that he could hear, the Japanese talking beneath under the sand, and that you could actually, dig through the ash and find, the boards and stuff that they used for support. Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting as well. Alright, so there's a link also if you want to go check out the rest. Alright, when the American military leaders received this information, they planned for an attack that would last a few days, but the Japanese discovered a new defense tactic. Using Iwo Jima's mountains, landscapes, and jungles, they set up camouflage artillery positions. The Americans bombed the island as well as shelled it, but the forces received little damage and were ready to repel the attackers. Yeah, so this, in the beginning battle, this helped the Japanese a lot, because the artillery was so well camouflaged. So when the Marines were coming up on the beaches, they would basically just gun them down as soon as they stepped foot. I'm sorry guys, I didn't mean to make the camera that shaky. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, so here's a map of the island. Yeah, that's the operation plans. Sorry, it's a little blurry. This best picture that I could find, but all these black lines, these are I think they're landing zones. Yeah, they're landing zones. Yeah, but so those are the battle plans and everything. On February 19, 1945, the U.S. Marines commenced an amphibious landing on the island and were immediately met with challenges. The beach was made of gray volcanic ash that made it difficult for Marines to gain footing on the island. The Japanese lied in wait for the Marines and opened fire with their artillery positions, which stalled the Marines and inflicted heavy casualties. Despite a banzai charge at dusk, however, the Marines still managed to advance. So, because of the ash and everything, tanks weren't really to make it on the island quite as much, so that left the Marines even more vulnerable. Within days, over 70,000 Marines landed on the island. Although they outnumbered the Japanese 3-1, they still suffered 25,000 casualties, with over 7,000 being deaths. The Japanese were also suffering losses and were running low on supplies, such as food and weapons. In just 4 days, the American forces captured Mount, not going to say the name, on to the south side of the island, did the famous flag raising. The harsh fighting continued in the northern part of the island for 4 weeks. On March 25th, 1945, fighting finally ended after a weird Japanese name led the last of his men into a fatal banzai charge. And the flag raising was the picture of the beginning slide that I started the video in. There were 7 guys. Crap. Shoot, I forgot their names. Crap, I had their names down. Crap, what were they? Oh well. I'll put the names of the flag raisers in the description. Even though the American military declared the island secure the next day for 4 weeks, American forces continued to find Japanese holdouts throughout the island. The last Japanese forces surrendered in 1949, nearly 4 years after the end of World War II. Yeah, so this just goes to show how relentless the Japanese were in that time, and just like what they would do to not surrender. It's kind of insane. Like, if you go back and you read like the stuff that they did to Americans in like the camps, like all the stuff that they did, like the Japanese didn't like it when people surrendered. They believed that the greatest honor was to fight on. But yeah, it's quite interesting. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that video. I will put the names of the guys that rose the flag. But yeah, I will be coming out with a couple more videos. And I did plan on doing a Halloween video. I know it's Halloween now and this is coming out, but I'll see if I can get one out tomorrow and I'll talk about a little bit about it. Alright guys, so have a great day.